My name is Mary Ellen O'Sullivan.
My name's Karen Ritchie.
My name is Mary Hauser.
My name is Samantha Bear.
I'm Jordan Rose, and I'm from Menominee Falls, Wisconsin.
And I've been a speech and language pathologist for over 40 years.
So I'm certified to teach kids 12 to 21, and I have a specialty in autism.
Autism.
Kids with autism have difficulties looking at the face and communicating, and they're able to do that with Milo. I think that that's the best. It's just that he's a robot.
Translates a lot for all kids who have that glitch between appropriate behavior and knowing how to approach people and the whole gamut of things like that.
Once we were up and running, pretty quickly we had positive feedback from teachers.
I've had a student who didn't want to make eye contact with people, didn't want to have anything to do with people unless you were doing what he wanted you to do. Now I have the kid go into different classrooms. I mean, he's nonverbal, but he's still waving, making eye contact with people.
Apparently, one of the children who is nonverbal went home and took all his robots, all his toys, and just lined them all up and started talking to him.
I do have some students who will try to emulate his mouth as it's moving. They'll try to do the same thing, which is so cool because they're not verbal kids, and it's like, that is so cool because you know that it's like right there.
We have a couple children that are cognitively severe class that are just mesmerized by him.
If he tells her to stand up, she stands up right away, versus like if a teacher told her, she might not do that pretty consistently. So that's kind of neat to see.
But the other student who was far more behaviorally challenged, you know, a lot of biting and pinching and hitting people, totally gets it. Totally gets the sustained, you know, way of making sure the person looks at you, responds back to you, and then he moves on. I mean, and that was how he greeted people before, was he'd either bite them or hit them because he didn't know how to get their attention, how to interact with somebody. He's just more comfortable in his own skin when he moves about the building. He's not so agitated and, you know, fleeting and things like that.
So I use him primarily one-on-one and in a small group with one student in particular, and then I support the special education teacher when she uses it as a group.
I think in the group too, when we have Milo, we have at least one time where he is in a group with like 5 or 6 kids. They all pay pretty close attention to what's going on.
The difference is with Milo, I could have him with an entire group. I wasn't like, I had one iPad. I could have 3 or 4 kids engaged in one activity with Milo. Whereas opposed to an iPad, even if I had 4 different iPads, I'm still running around trying to like facilitate all that, as opposed to he's right there and they were just engaged.
A lot of my students really like the calm down strategies, whether they're using Milo or not. So we have a quiet corner, and sometimes they can work in the quiet corner, and I see them doing the same strategies that Milo was teaching them in the quiet corner.
With one of the students, you know, when she was getting frustrated that she was kind of looking to Milo, okay, what are we going to do? And she would try some of these ideas that he was trying to tell her to calm herself down. Sometimes she plays with the ball, and sometimes she has to count, but she's trying to self-regulate.
They're getting something from it. So I think that's the most important piece. And if we were able to do a full set, I think the gains would be much higher.
All the kids who are not involved with Milo really would like to see what he can do, and, you know, come on in, can we just see what he does?
It should be a seamless shift. So when you start at elementary and you have that base foundation, it should be awesome if you started with Milo and you could get those basic skills and then shift to the middle school values, and then all of a sudden you're in high school and you have a completely different set, and as well as when you're in a transition program.
I think he's been a great tool and opportunity and has reached some kids that we weren't really sure how to.
And that's all been since, you know, Milo came into the building. Now that could be coincidental, but there's too many things that are so Milo-esque. That's been pretty phenomenal.